All right. So of course everyone knows January 6th was the insurrection anniversary. That was the day, January 6th, after the election of President Biden, that a lot of idiots ran up in the Capitol and smeared crap on the walls, and they attempted to stop the voting, the counting of the electoral votes to actually put President Biden in office. And last Friday, or the 6th, was the 1 year anniversary of that action. So what is your feedback on that night?
Let me just correct you 1 second. They weren't counting the votes. They were certifying the election.
That's right. That's
right. So the fact that the president of our country, right, stood and gave a speech and gave a rally based on lies that he knew were lies, he should be held totally responsible.
Agreed.
Can you imagine if Obama would have done that?
No, we can't imagine.
If Obama would have done that, we wouldn't be talking about an insurrection. We would be talking about treason.
That's right. Because that's what it was. Like, by definition,
that's exactly what it was. Right. It was treason.
It was treason.
And treason is punishable by what?
It says death.
That's what it says. So
death.
I'm just saying, I'm going like you always talk. You always
laws,
say
that's right.
Their laws, right?
That's right.
It's their laws, not my laws.
That's right.
So if you're gonna follow the laws when you black, or you're gonna follow the laws against my people, follow the laws with everybody.
Yo,
or
but what is
if not, if you don't follow the laws the same way you follow the laws with them, then the laws
they don't.
Then
that's
there
right.
are no laws.
You're right.
They either apply to me or they don't apply at all.
That's right.
Right.
And you know what though? And I think two things. A statement and then a question. Right. My statement is that what you just said though, it's almost like the folks that did that, when they interview them and you hear what they say, in their mind, and it's like 40% of the Republicans, like 60% of the people, something in that ballpark, doesn't think that it was violent. So the question is,
people died. How can they say that?
What does it say about our country? Then they call themselves patriots.
Right.
What is patriotic about that? That you broke the law.
Code. That's dog whistle code.
Correct.
That's all that is.
So
patriotism in this day and age means racism. Patriotism in this day and age means Trumpism.
To them. And unfortunately, Nike, I think that we have a better understanding of what the definition and how to carry out those words, because we have to keep our eye on it, because if not, like you said earlier, those laws won't apply to us. So we have to pay attention to those things, because if things start to go sideways like they are, who are they going to affect negatively? It's going to affect us. It's going to affect
just like every other law. And that's my point. If the laws don't apply to everybody, then the laws don't apply to nobody.
Right.
So, and then here's another thing. All right, here's a whole year later, right? Regular people have been locked up, been tried.
Like 700.
How come the people that actually started it, that actually were involved in it from the top, how come it's taking so long to get a verdict on them or get a resolution on them?
Right.
Yeah. See, that's the shit that's wrong. That's part of the shit that's wrong with this country.
And the big issue with that though, Nike, is that you still, even with all of this, you still have a large, almost half of the country that will still support the person at the top that called for the folk to go down there and cause the havoc that occurred. How can you what does that say about your, as you always talk about, love of country? You don't love the country.
No,
you don't love the country. You actually.
Well, wait. Yes, they do.
You love
their country. Listen.
Listen.
Okay,
let me say this. They loved ED. They loved the country. Past tense. They don't like what it is now because it's changing.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say.
They love
this country. They love this country
for what it was.
and for what it was, and for what it is. They don't like the change that they see coming.
It's coming down. Right.
You get what I'm saying? They don't like the change that they see coming.
Well, maybe
they see the same change that I see coming.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that right there, they don't want that.
I mean,
but the thing is, being a patriot, how can you be a patriot carrying a Confederate flag in the rotundra
and beating cops?
I'm gonna tell you how it happened.
Cops.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, I don't actually think these people are in their right frame of mind.
What do you mean?
Because just like we've been programmed, those people have been programmed too. They have been programmed in the opposite direction.
But wait a minute.
They have been programmed from Fox News, and all of that shit.
True.
You get what I'm saying? And it's coming out about that, like how Fox News
they don't even
had
show
a lot to do with the political stuff that went on.
They don't show
it. What's his name?
Hannity. Sean Hannity.
He should be locked up. That's my opinion, because he was aware and he was pushing all of that propaganda.
That's right.
And then on the same token, texting the president behind the scenes something else than what he was actually putting on his show.
That's right. It
shouldn't be that shouldn't be allowed, right?
But Terry, listen to this though. Listen to what you just said about Sean Hannity. How can he maintain this credibility? How can people still think that he's a credible person?
Because his credibility is run or is stood up by the machine. It's in his credibility comes from who he represents.
But listen to this though. But Terry, you still have people that find him credible. If someone
because
that
they don't know no better, they're it's a cult.
Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't really know no better. All they know, and this happens a lot, and it happens to us too.
Mm-hmm.
We get the programming from social media. We get the programming from our, that's why you got red. Everything is set up in red and blue now, if you notice, right? Mm-hmm. Just like gangs, right? MSNBC, they represent the Democratic side, right? Mm-hmm. Some of that shit is brainwashing our folks, just like on the Fox News side.
Okay, but you'll have
there's a difference story, and you'll have two different representations.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
All right,
because as we just said, Fox News, they're spreading lies. I'll give you one real easy one. They said that the insurrection wasn't violent. That is a lie. There's no gray area.
You're absolutely correct.
Right.
No, you're correct about that.
So the difference is, I don't look at MSNBC and find many instances where I'm saying, my girl Rachel Maddow, you're lying. I have yet to come across that where she said something, or any of them that I can think of. I can't think of anything that has come out that was just a blatant lie. No one has proven that anything that they said was a blatant lie. There's a difference. Fox News, they're lying to their people. You're not brainwashing me if you're just giving me information. That's not being brainwashed.
Right.
That's not being
it's what I guess what I meant to say. Not particular. Well, Fox is definitely a brainwash.
It's lying.
MSNBC. I think they brainwash in a different way.
No, but
like because
brainwashing, if they're giving you information that's true, I'm saying
they give true information.
Right. So how is it
we
brainwashing?
Can tell, huh?
It's truth until you prove that it's wrong.
Right.
So if nothing has been proven, if no one showed me, came on Fox News, because I'll flip over to Fox every once in a while. If they never said this is what Rachel Maddow said, and this was a lie, no one has ever proven anything that she said was a lie. So that's not brainwashing.
Most of the stories are factually correct. Right.
Right. So that's not brainwashing. You're just reporting the news, right?
Right. You are reporting the news, but you're reporting the news that makes people. All right, so you pick and choose what news you provide, right? When the last time you heard a positive news story about a black person on MSNBC? Not Sidney Poitier dying. I'm talking about like for once. Like when the last time you heard MSNBC cover something like the lynching bill?
They do night all the time. Listen, Ike. One of the hosts, or actually a lot of the hosts, are black. You don't think that they cover those? I watch it every night. Joy Reid.
I watch
That's
it.
all she talks about.
I watch it too.
Don't Joy Reid talk about black issues constantly? Right.
I didn't say they didn't talk about black issues. That's not what I said.
The lynching bill. Doesn't she talk about that? How they need that needs to be the priority?
I've never heard her talk about the lynching bill.
Reverend Sharpton, who's one of the civil rights leaders that's left, he talks about it constantly.
I have never heard
constant.
I haven't. I'm just going by. I'm not saying you're wrong. I said I've never heard
it. And let me assure you, Nike, that they talk about when Joy Reid comes on before Chris Hayes. She's on like 6 to 7, something like that. Right. She talks about the political aspect, and she talks about it from a black perspective. The laws they need. They were saying that the lynching bill and the Voting Rights Act should have went before the Build Back Better plan. No, it didn't. It didn't. But my point is that when you said, do they talk about those stories? Constantly.
All right. I have to take your word on that. I just haven't heard it.
Yeah, so there's a difference between brainwashing and reporting the news. If you're lying to someone and you're pumping them false information.
Right. I'm not saying that they're lying. What I'm saying is the way they cover stories
left-leaning, you could say.
Not just left-leaning, but they cover stories that
see. Even with
cover
that,
stories that keep division. That's
see. I don't see. It's funny.
That's the only thing that I'm saying, because Fox is way over here, MSNBC is way over here, and then there's the people that's in the middle.
See, I even disagree with that. Listen, this is why. Because if you're sowing division, that means you're trashing the other side, right? If you're trying to sow division, they would have to be trashing the right, right?
They do trash the right.
No, nope.
The right trashes the left too.
No, but listen. When someone steps up and does the right thing, they bend over backwards to praise them, and I find it funny because I noticed that they do it. For instance, Darth Vader in 2 administrations ago was who? It was Dick Cheney, right?
Right.
Dick Cheney was Darth Vader.
Right.
They praise him. They praise Liz Cheney every day because they're standing up against what the Republicans are trying to do. So, and they're Republicans.
Think about what you just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
If our country has come to the point where we're praising Darth Vader.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is that no, but listen. Because if you look at it from the bigger picture, though, what they're saying is that these Republicans that we might disagree with on issues, they're not the Republican. They're not doing what the Republicans are doing now. They're not rolling the country backwards. So we can and again, I'm okay with that. I can disagree with you on issues. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I would take George Bush back anytime. I might have disagreed with George Bush on policy, but I never thought that he put himself in front of the country or would attempt to destroy the country. There's a difference between George Bush and Trump. You disagree with that? You think they're the same? George Bush didn't run a cult. George Bush wasn't trying to run a cult. There's a difference.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Bush's following wasn't as cultish.
No, I mean, well, no.
If you take a look at what the Bush era policies brought to the country, come on, man. They created a war just to steal oil. Bush wasn't really running the country.
See,
Bush, to be honest with you, Bush wasn't running the country.
Well, he was the president. He was the president. So
the guy you just mentioned was running
Cheney,
the president.
Well, listen,
running the country.
Regardless of okay, as the vice president, but Bush was the president, so he was the leader. So that as far the reason why I say that is because people are quick to say that without just throw that out there. They talk what they're saying now is talking about how now Biden is not running the country. I don't even know what that means. He's the president.
You don't know what that means?
No, I mean he's the president. So what do you mean he's not running the country? Who's the president then?
You think the president has power, don't you?
I do.
The president doesn't have power.
Okay.
He's the most powerful. What they call it? Figurehead. He's the most powerful figurehead, but he's not the most powerful. They give him his agenda.
Well, listen, it's interesting that you said that because you're right. He's not supposed to be. We have three equally powerful branches of government. We have the judicial, we have the House, and the legislative, and the executive. So you're right. You're absolutely right. Those three branches share the power. So that's a nice correction. All right, you ready to roll on, man?
That's not true either, but that's not true though. We'll have to make that. Let me write that down. Who has the power? Because we got to discuss that further next week.
We're gonna talk about that next week.
Yeah, let me write that down because
nice.
You got that all wrong. Wait a minute. Let me write that down. Who has the power?
Who has the true power? All right, that's a nice one. That's been nice.
Has the power?
You know, made my headache go away.
I told you.
Made my headague go away.
I told you once we got going, you'd be feeling all right.